everyone. My name is Michelle Minikurv, and I am known online as Exceptional Shell. That's my professional name online. And I am an autistic self-advocate and a blogger of my own blog series called the World of Autism. It's meant for sharing experiences on the spectrum for autistic self-advocates, families, educators, you name it. Everybody comes on to be able to promote about with acceptance, advocacy, you name it. So the guest that I have on today, and it is such an honor to have him on here, and he actually doesn't know this yet, and this recently just happened in one of my college classes that my professor shared his story for the week. And it was it was mind-blowing. And I cannot wait for you guys to hear about my guest. And so my guest here is Marcus Boyd. How you doing, Marcus?
How's everybody doing? How are you doing? And again, thank you for letting me be on your amazing, incredible platform. And please tell your college professor I am beyond honored. I didn't know that, but I'm beyond honored. And definitely sending love and support to your school.
Absolutely. I definitely will let my professor know that. It happened prior to this, so it was mind-blowing. It definitely was mind-blowing. So let's start this off. I know that you would like to share your journey as an autistic, such as like how long you were nonverbal for and like what age you started talking at. So would you like to share a little bit?
I was born with autism. I got diagnosed April 12th, 1993. I was 10 years old by Dr. King, and Berto Looper was my therapist. Anna Gibbs was my speech therapist. Bob Ortner was my behavior aide. Dorothy Carr was my social worker. And the list goes on. I was 13 and a half, speaking at a 2-year-old's level. I didn't start speaking like this until I was almost 18. I had what is called adult tantrums. I was on everything from Ritalin, Paxil, Depakote, lithium, Seroquel, Zoloft, 500 to 1,000 milligrams of pills 2 to 3 times a day. I was in therapy till I was 21, from 4 years old to 21 years old. I had problems using the bathroom on myself till about 19 years old. I was doing adult tantrums, meaning jumping on people, biting them, scratching them, the whole 9 yards, until I was like 21, 22 years old. I'm 38. So again, I've been an autism activist for going on 5 years. So yeah.
Wow, that comes to show, just for the world to know, that comes to show that like anybody can grow and develop. Don't give up. Like you it makes such an impact where you're engaging with the individual and stuff. So it's so important that you are there for them, and it comes to show having a good support system of people from the community to impact one individual's life. So I thank you with sharing a brief of your journey and everything. And it's truly just incredible. And it's so different for everybody. It really is different for everybody and stuff. And you mentioned about with being an autistic activist. What does that mean to you?
Well, I mean, it means everything. That's my life. I mean, I didn't get in this because I researched it or I read about it or I thought that, it'd be cool to be an activist. I got in it because this is what God gave me. He blessed me to have autism. So why not try to be a voice to make changes, to help in laws and rights, to help in events and programs, to help in more therapies and more inclusive situations? Why not me? Because God allowed me to go through whatever trials and tribulations I went through concerning autism. So now I understand it from a literal sense versus a researchable sense.
Absolutely. And it does make sense. It just comes from just living life from experience. And that's what, I think that's more powerful than just reading from research and books. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I can now see why my in a way, from when your story was shared in my professors in my class, from one of my professors, that she tries to like share actual people's stories versus like from reading stuff. So yeah, just to let you know that that was, again, that was mind blowing and stuff. So
I mean, it's mind blowing to hear it, from this side of it, because it's like, you just want to touch one person. If you can touch somebody else other than that one person, then it's a blessing, it's a benefit. But when you hear stories like your story or anybody's story, you just want to be able to touch one person to get it. So if anybody else get it besides that one person, it's more of a blessing.
right, absolutely. I agree with that. I absolutely agree with that. So now I want to transition to where, what have you been doing lately that's been promoting more awareness about autism?
Well, I've been having these webinars in London and speaking engagements in Dubai via video webinars. I'm starting Autism Love Radio. Of course, we got the clothing line, we have the shoe line, the A3 shoe apparel. Um, I got to go to Detroit to speak with the NAACP about autism and medication. I have to go to North Carolina to speak about autism and inclusion in sports. So it's just been a lot. I have to speak this Saturday about a missing girl that's been missing in Arizona for 2 years, and she has autism in the Spanish community. So, it's bigger than just a certain community. This affects worldwide. So, advocacy as far as changing laws and adding laws for the rights of autism. So this is just some of the advocacy work that I've been doing.
And that definitely proves it right there. Like, that's what it means about when you're going to the advocacy level of it, moving on from the awareness and the acceptance. Now we're taking it to this level where it's like, we gotta put it into action. Now that we've been educating it, now we gotta take it into action. That's what it means to make that kind of difference here, in a way, and just doing it hands-on versus just, even though yes, educating is just as important too, but it just takes this more to the next level. So absolutely, you definitely showed that.
But there's a bunch of people, again, there's a bunch of people that works in autism that may not be able to get the spotlight or to be heard or something of that nature. So my head goes off to everybody that works in autism, that's fighting, that's doing the same thing that you're doing and many others are doing to help raise awareness and a voice for not a cause, not a disorder, not a diagnosis, but the love of autism.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Up to that level. So thank you about that. Thank you. So now we're going to transition to now more of where your career as well in the music industry. So now that you are a music producer, can you tell us what inspired you to get into music producing?
Well, growing up, I didn't have no choice. My grandmother said either music or church. So it was either one of the two. I couldn't be like my brothers. I couldn't do or make decisions whatever they was doing. I couldn't follow the pack. My grandma said I had to be different because I am unique and different. So she said it's either church or music. You choose. So being nonverbal, I pointed to the wooden flute and she sent me to band camp. So going to band camp, I learned how to play different instruments, be around different people, and the rest is history.
Wow. Just from your grandma's perspective, saying that she wanted you to do something different than your own siblings and stuff. It just, do you feel that do you feel do you feel music's like an interest to you, like, anyways, just because your grandma told you to go to that into that career?
I mean, I was in concert band, marching band, playing 8 different instruments since 3rd grade. So, I mean, I think it was in me, but I think she forced it to come out of me. Growing up in the projects, we're not given a lot of resources. We're not given a lot of options. So, if you got a jump shot, or if you got music gifts, or you can dance, or if you educated, those things, that's where my grandmother wanted me to go instead of the streets. By having autism, we can't even think about going in the streets because we're not on the same type of situation. And then again, growing up in the projects, you're taught to be tough first, versus when you're going through a situation like autism.
Hmm. I see. And also that you also brought a point which I think a lot of people should take note about this, is that to follow what your interests are, because they really can guide you towards your career, everything. So
I
it's
mean, I ain't gonna lie, music saved my life. Exercise, it was music and exercising. And again, that's why I have to shout out Kelly Jones in Raleigh, North Carolina, with Beyond My Expectations and everything that she's doing. Um, Miss Taylor in Montgomery, Alabama, with Divine Network Solutions. I mean, these people, because they're teaching autism children and teenagers and adults different ways to survive in society, that you don't have to be the status quo, that you can learn skills, and you can be different, and you can use exercise, and you can use different things to be a success.
exactly. You definitely need a balance in order to be successful. Like, you have to make that kind of balance, like, to take care of yourself and also just to apply yourself in the world. So that great message right there. And so what we have as well, that I feel like there's definitely more resources in the world today. Like, it just keeps on growing because of the amount of, like, with the amount of advocacy work and just in general, that we're, yes, there's still work that we still need to work on, but we're definitely going in the right direction. Do you feel that too?
Do I mean, with anything, we're only one person. We can't tackle every issue that happens, but if we go step by step, brick by brick, we can make real and effective change.
Exactly. Exactly. So, Marcus, what do you have next that's coming up for you, and what advice do you have for autistics who are pursuing in music?
We have the book series. I definitely got to show some love to the amazing PR, Allison Sanders, out there in Birmingham, Alabama. She's helping me with a book series. It's called The Book Feast. And we have a book coming out. It's called Marcus, the Hero Inside. And I have a comic book coming out. It's called Super Marcus, a comic strip. We're working on a short film about my life. Shout out to the award-winning movie director in Atlanta, Tina Bridges, and the TLA agency, and amazing actors and actresses. She had working on the short film about my life. It's called The Boy with No Voice. Let's see here. Again, Kelly Jones out of Raleigh, North Carolina. We're working on inclusion with autism, the supportness, sports, bringing awareness and bringing exercise together with autism, with her amazing company, Beyond My Expectations. I have an award show gala in September to speak at, with the Quad Kids Fashion Week with Miss Gordon. There's a lot of stuff going on, but what advice would I give to people who want to do music is, you know, you have to have determination. Fame ain't gonna come overnight. You ain't gonna get super famous overnight. You have to have determination, and you have to have that skill set and that faithfulness and put work in. Forget about money or fame. You have to do it because you love it. You have to do it because this is your passion. And, you know, doesn't matter if you have autism or not, you can be successful with music or financing or be a lawyer, doctor, whatever you want to be, because in our community, we're intelligent, geniuses, very creative, talented people. So we can do anything.
Exactly. That is such a powerful message because it truly does, like, just to do what you love is like so much more important than about with money and fame. And that's like for anything really, not just with music, but for any career wise and stuff for the future. That's what you should be focusing more on because that's how you live a successful life, not just focusing on like with money and stuff. So very powerful message, Marcus. So appreciative about that. And to wrap this up, where can people find you online?
My website is getting done now. autismactivistmarcusboyd.com is getting worked on. So for now, you can find me social media sites like Twitter at Boyd Autism, Facebook at Marcus Leonardo Boyd, Instagram at Autism Activist Marcus Boyd, or the Orange Couch Chronicles. Or people can call me. That's 520-330-0242. Again, my cell phone number is 520-330-0242. I mean, reach out because it takes a movement and it takes more than one person to affect change. So all voices deserve to be heard.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Marcus, for coming on and to share your experiences as an autistic and just everything going on today.
Well, I'm honored you allow me to be on your amazing platform. Continue to use your amazing voice to be effective in this community because you're being heard, you're being seen, and your work is being appreciated. So continue to do what you do.
Thank you, Marcus. Really appreciate that. And just for everybody to know, you can follow me as Exceptional Shell. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, TikTok. I even have a YouTube channel where I have all these guest interviews that you get to watch, including here with Marcus. So that is a wrap up with here. Thank you guys for watching.